Hello, I'm going to show you a neat trick on how to defat your broth when you're making gravy or soup. Now, when you're making soup, a lot of times you have meat in the soup and then the fat rises to the top. So if you don't want all that fat in your soup, you can do a couple of things. You can take your pan of broth and you can let it cool till the next day, then you can skim off all the fat. Or you can take a spoon, a flat spoon, and take your pan and just kind of skim the fat out. And that takes a little while, but you don't always get it all either. Then they have some spoons like this that kind of skim the top. It's nice and flat. And this does work pretty well. And then you can scoop it out and then the fat comes on here. But again, it still will have some of the fat in the soup. So one trick that I do is I take a little plastic bag. Now I'm using a small bag because I only have a small amount of broth. If I was making a bigger pot of soup, I would use a gallon-sized bag. I know it's a waste of a bag, but I don't usually make soup that often or make gravy that often, so it's worth the convenience. So what you do is you open up the bag, and of course you let the broth cool down a little bit, then you pour it in there. And then what you notice, okay, you notice that the broth is at the bottom, but then all of the fat is on the top there. You can see it very clearly, okay? So what you want to do then is just grab this bottom corner while you're still holding the top. Hold that little corner. Then you just snip a little hole at the end of the bag. Then you turn it back upside down again, and then you put it over into a container. So as this is coming out, all of the good broth that I want to save is in the bag. And if you want a little bit of fat in your soup, you can control that. So as the fat gets to the hole, you can let some of it out before you squeeze the hole shut. So we'll just let that come out. You don't want to make the hole too big because it'll rush. So now it's getting close, so I'm going to get ready to squeeze it. We'll let some of that fat out, the flavor, and then I just squeeze it shut. So now I've squeezed this shut. And this is all the fat that I don't want in my soup, and all I have to do is throw this away. So you take what's left of your broth and you just pour it back in your pan, and then you're ready to continue on making your gravy. So it's very easy. I hope you enjoy it. Have a good day.